Hey guys, we're in this garden and there's a lot of new flowers out, so I look forward to showing you around. But this is the lawn. This is what it looks like. Really long grass, and there's all sorts out here, and it's definitely starting to be the time of the foxgloves. And there's some irises out as well, and some of the summer flowering bulbs, and some lupins, so we'll show you all that. Oh, and some white roses it looks like, and some other things. Alright guys, so I've got a bit of a problem. We've just had to go back to base and get another mower, because the drive cable just snapped. Didn't show any signs of wear and tear, but I've dropped the ball a bit on this one because this one is showing signs of wear and tear. It's pretty frayed. There's only about 3 or 4 strands left on this, so we're just going to see if it'll mow this lawn and then have a think about. So I've got a mower in the shop that will be ready, that I can pick up, but it's an hour and a half round trip at least. So first we'll see if we can get this lawn done. Wish us luck. Okay, there it is. I mowed it twice. The drive cable has stayed quite frayed. There's a main chunk of it that came off, and then there's another couple of wires. It's only being held on by about 3, possibly 4 little threads, so thank God we got that done, because we're halfway through the garden. The only thing is these 2 stripes, this dark green one, this light white one, they're a bit thin. I just kept the drive cable on and dead man switch on. I just kept it all on until I had to empty the grass, and then let them off to keep the wear down on this bottom handle where it's all frayed. So it's quite difficult lining it up when you can't stop, basically. But I'll show you around. There's some incredible things here. The foxgloves are out, and this one's quite a delicate light pink, and quite a lot of them, and that's a more unusual one, and they're biannuals foxgloves. And the way you get them in your garden is by letting them reseed themselves. So you've got to go easy on the hoeing, and with the master hoer at work here, that's going to be quite a challenge. This is really nice. It's just started to come out, and I can't remember the name of it, but another one of my customers has that. They've planted in their cosmos now into the border. It's that one, and they've got other cosmos dotted around, and then other bedding plants that they've put in there and over there, so they're filling every single space. So it's just going to look unbelievable. And this huge thing's about to flower. It's certainly about 7 or 8 foot. But there's some very interesting flowers that have popped out. There's this just coming out. These are a bulb based plant, and they've been spreading them around slowly but surely through the years, and I think it's just, they said it was about 5 years old, this garden. Ooh, just bear with. Okay, the customer's just given me a list of plant names, so I'm gonna try and remember a couple of them. There's a lot to take in. These are gorgeous, these things. Oh, and there's some nasturtiums down at the back there. That's a nice thing to have. I always planted those as a child, and you can eat the leaves and you can eat the flowers, and they're a bit peppery. And this is called a heuchera. So it's got these lovely white flowers against a really dark red stem, and then these dark red leaves, and then these lovely little wild pansies. If you have a look at how their sweet peas are coming on, they've tied them up onto the second level as well as down there at the bottom, and so they've got quite a few around this homemade bamboo frame, and look how they've tied this bamboo frame together. That's some pretty specialist preparation. These lupins are incredible, because two weeks ago is when we were last here, and they were just a tiny little bud. Look at them now, they're absolutely enormous. I don't even know how that much growth is possible, but they're really, really nice. I can see that's why my partner likes these so much. She said it's one of her favourite flowers, and they are really nice. Really, really nice. That's just one big plant. And this is the white border at the end, and we've been into the secret garden. We'll go into the secret garden, then we'll have a look at some of these white flowers that have come out. Some really nice things in here. Past the wheelbarrow. So there's something at the back here. So a really nice hidden clematis. Look at that, it's white, it's in the white border. This is the very back of the white border. And how nice is that flower? Put that list of plant names away. Oh, and there's something amazing which just went past actually. There's some very nice things in the back here that I wanted to show you. And there's this trellis going all the way along, and look at all these roses that have started to come out. So it's going to be absolutely covered in roses. And then we can look further into the back of the secret garden, and there's some foxgloves coming out, but there are some already in flower that I can show you back there. But there's 2 beds of roses, and they're going to be a pink when they come out, but they start off a deep red. You can see that one's getting lighter. There's the most incredible clematis or clematis at the back here. Look at it. They're really nice. Look at that, it's an incredible flower. The inside looks really nice. Look how flat it is, it's totally opened out. And it's covered in flowers. And I'll just give you a look over the back fence here. Don't know if you can see it. But that's a very special private spot for the guy who lives here. It's a little brook, little stream back there. Got some of these in my garden. They're small and perfectly formed. And then these blue, almost bluey purple perennial geraniums coming out. And they've got a bed of these. Looks like another geranium but with multi-heads. So I don't know what that is. Oh, they've got some really interesting ferns. Look, you can see into the main garden, and this is the white border with some blue in the middle. Some interesting ferns down here. That looks nice. That's not part of the fern, it's a bluebell. This is called a ghost fern. They just sort of pop up, completely die back in winter. Looks really nice. And I've got other ferns. We've actually got one of these in our garden, and I hadn't realised it was a fern. And then some more ferns back there. But I'll take you back into the main garden, because there's a Chinese palm that's in flower that looks absolutely incredible. And it's back here on the border that we just walked past. Oh, and a little lupin, but very shady down there. Look at it. How amazing is that flower? There's not a lot of light in here, so it's difficult to show it at its best. So 2 big flowers. They're amazing things. Really unusual to see. And here's Steve blowing out the border. Just blowing the grass away from the border. And then we get into the white border where there are these lovely white roses that are just popping out. And you can see it's incredible because the buds start off as pink. Look at it. And you can prove it because there's a white flower in amongst the pink buds. So you can see how the one back there starts off as a red bud but goes pink. And then these start as a very light pink bud. That's the deepest pink, and then as they grow out they get lighter and lighter, and there's no trace of any pink on the underside, not really. So that's something interesting about roses. And then if you look here, you've got the white from this tiny little thing with these white flowers behind them. And then we've got some lovely white irises with little streaks of yellow in them, and with some blue irises and an orange poppy, just giving that spark of colour in the white border. And that's why the white allium are here. And you can see back there the white clematis that we saw on the other side. And then here we've got some white geraniums, just with the tiniest hint of pink in them. Very delicate hint of pink. Might see it a bit better on this one. And then of course we've got the white lilac. It all makes sense, all the white flowers, and then this little delicate white flower. So that's the white border along there, and behind it's that secret garden, and then behind the secret garden the brook. And then here we've got a lovely colourful little border in the middle of the lawn, well, to one side. And we've got one of these in our garden, just on its own. We've got a rhododendron that's just flowered on the top, which the customer's not too sure why that's happened. Possibly we had some fairly extreme weather where it's been extremely wet, and we did have some very cold snaps in the winter. So around -7 in December, and then Jan, Feb, March. Even in April, just very, very wet. And they've got this rose going across the back fence. Oh, and look, these delphiniums are growing up. So they were a lot smaller. Oh, and it's just about to flower. Look. So they've only just planted them and they're flowering already. And these peonies are starting to flower. She had thought it might not come out because it was looking a bit worse for wear, and lots of rosebuds here to come out, so that might be a pink. If it's a really dark red bud, we might think that that might be a pink flower if they start off darker. And more cosmos in here. They're really nice and colourful things, and a really nice rhododendron here. I think we've got this purple one in our garden. It's that top leaf that's patterned. And here are the foxgloves. Here we go. Ooh, but some nice, some interesting, very deep purple roses. God, very, very dark colour. Oh, this is a really interesting mix of colours. We've got some blue irises, got some orange poppies, and then we've got this delicate pink flower all behind these foxgloves, which are just coming out. And the foxgloves always look interesting inside the flower. Inside there, interesting pattern, luring in their insects to help them pollinate. And there's the clematis down there. More of these flowers here with a little bee buzzing around them. More there. Another foxglove. They're tall flowers and they reseed themselves really nicely. Loads of blue irises about to come out here. And there, they've netted their other fruit tree. And then this is my favourite colour of geranium. A really dark